All right.
Ready to stream?
Ready?
And we'll get a mic to you.
I was going to have an opening statement, but never mind. Go ahead. Go ahead, Mark.
Coach, this being Salute to Service Day, I was wondering if you could share a few thoughts about Christian Hill and also just about the tradition of players like him, Jake Sheffield, and at the school where Pat Tillman played and so forth.
Well, what I was going to say, I mean, starting off, this week's an important week to me. I had people in my family, grandfathers that served in the armed forces, and it's something that we shouldn't. It's not just something that we do. It's something that I try to work hard to teach our players and teach my kids how important it is to respect the price that's been paid for us to do this. To get to be in a country, there's no other country in the world that you can do what we get to do here. I mean, really, I mean, you look at, getting to play a game like this and be able to make a living doing this, be able to teach and do that. I mean, and I'm very, very grateful for the people. And I don't think that we spend enough time thinking about that. Once a year surely isn't enough, but so that's the least we can do. And for guys like Christian, Jake Sheffield, guys that have, I've been able to be around, what a great example they've been and a great learning experience it is for our players, because it's not anything they say. You can just tell. You can tell. You can look them in the eye and see the price that they've paid. And there's something about a person that's served in active duty and have fought and defended their country. And there's a price that's been paid for that. And that's something that those guys, I'm really proud of Christian, and Jake was a special guy as well. And I think it's really a constant reminder every day of we pride ourselves in discipline, but then when you see Christian walk in the room or Jake walks in the room, it's just completely, it's a different level. And I'm very grateful, obviously, for the price. And then you think about, Pat, and he gave his life, and so many Americans give their life for their country. And I'm very grateful to coach at the place where Pat played, and where so many of our, veterans we've had that have played here, and just so grateful for, the people out there that are willing to do that put their life on the line and serve so that we can be free, because it's something that, I think I know it's hard not to see that we take that for granted. And that's why it's so important to me that we don't just recognize that today. We do it every day. And that's something that we try to do at the end of every one of, our practices and what we do. We try to admit our guys to count your blessings to get to do this, and how blessed you are to get to do what we do because somebody else paid the price. And I always say this, so few nowadays pay the price for so many. I got a chance to go to Normandy and see, D-Day and Omaha Beach and Utah Beach, and man, that's really every American, to see the unbelievable price, loss of life that was sacrificed and by so many back then. And nowadays there's so much, seems like we just become sometimes immune to, you read the paper and there's two or three Marines lost their life, and you just don't realize that that's somebody's son, that's somebody's daughter. And so that's, to me, it's personal to me, and being a patriot and honoring your country is something that I think is very, very important.
Todd, I'm writing something on some of the under-the-radar seniors, and one of those guys is Tramel Tops. During his time here, he hasn't played on the field a lot, but it seems like he has the respect of everybody in the locker room.
Tremendous.
How has he done that?
Tremendous. He's a young man of incredible faith. If you ask me what will you miss about Tops, I'll miss his sermons before the game. I mean, he gives a sermon. I mean, he talks to our D linemen, and what's interesting is how that group's grown. It used to be D linemen, now it's D linemen, linebackers, secondary, and you've just seen that group grow. Great example for how to live your life, and a guy that, the obstacles that he overcome to stay here. I mean, I don't know, the loans have piled up, all those things. and he hasn't played a lot of snaps. The guy has practiced and prepared and helped his team in a big way. And when I think of this senior class, he'll be one of the guys in this class that I think has been an example for what a leader should be. Because it's not necessarily has he gotten a lot of benefit out of it. You know, he's benefited other people, and he's benefited our team and made our team a better team. So he's a special guy that's worked extremely hard, and you know. A great example for what people are to be out there. I can't tell you how many times I told him it's not happening. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. He didn't care what I said. He didn't care what my evaluation was. He was going to do it. And so many people let somebody else put parameters on their dreams. And that's what I'll always think of him, because he's one of those guys that surprised me. Because there was no way we could not put him on because of his impact on this team. So he's a special guy.
Todd, due to your injuries, was that as light as you've gone during a bye week? And then also, are you looking at doing different things in terms of stretching or maybe alternative types, like maybe yoga or Pilates or different kind of things?
Talking about me personally?
No. For your team, obviously.
Oh, okay.
Is that something are you considering those types of different things?
You know, we're going to obviously, right now we're just focused on trying to beat Utah and then go to the next game. You know, we feel like we're going to have, you know, more than half those guys back. And so that's going to help us tremendously. And we'll research it. There's a lot of factors. We do a lot of stuff. And coming into this season, we were the 4th in the country in consistent starts. In other words, in fewest injuries like that. And so we just need to, you know, overtraining, not enough flexibility stuff, not enough warm up, not enough, you know, I mean, obviously there's a challenge, you know, there's challenges we have from, you know, getting over there, and we got limited amount of time and stuff like that. So we'll evaluate all that and look at it. But, you know, just a lot of it's just been, you know, a lot of those a lot of injury that is just not normal. It's not a normal thing that's happened. So we will spend a lot of time in the off season researching that and trying to figure that out. And I think there'll probably be some things that we'll focus on, but too, some of that's just part of the game. You know, I think some of that's I look at some of the injuries that happened, and some of them can be avoided. But most of them were just injuries, you know, that happened. And I really felt like our guys were in great condition coming in. But we'll look at that too. Sometimes you can overtrain, you know, and so we'll look at all those factors. But right now we're just trying to do everything we can around the clock to get them healthy. And then you also got to practice. So we've got more than half of them back practicing. So that's a positive. And we'll, you know, our focus right now is just figuring out a way to go send these seniors out with their final game at Sun Devil Stadium with a win.
I just wanted to ask you about Liu. You know, you've had a number of people come in from Texas, but he was I think one of the first ones that came in. Can you just talk about him and his career?
I think him and Lloyd were about the same time, weren't they? You know, Liu's a guy that, you know, is very, very special young man, man of few words, man of great faith. I mean, what an example he is on how he lives his life, you know, how he goes about everything he academically, on the field, off the field, tremendous student of the game, going to be a coach. He's a guy that whenever he's done playing football, I'd hire in a heartbeat. He is a defensive Taylor Kelly, is how I would describe Liu. And there's not many people I've coached I have more respect for as far as what kind of person they are than Taylor and Liu. His mother, obviously, is an incredible lady. I remember going to their home and meeting their family. What an incredible family. Comes from a great football tradition there in Texas at Euless Trinity State Championship program, one of the best programs in the state. But man, just a tremendous heart, has meant a lot to me personally and to our program. And I'm really proud of him because he's had a great senior year, and he's been healthy and has just been incredible. He's had a really good year. Going to be a champion in life, no doubt.
Coach, this being the last home game of the season, could you just talk about what home field advantage has done for you guys this year, and are you expecting a big game atmosphere at Sun Devil Stadium on Thursday?
Well, our guys have taken a great deal of pride over the last 5 years in defending this stadium out here. I think we're 26 and 7. Good job, Mark. I need to get one of those. It goes in my ear, so it looks like I know that. But obviously 4-1 this year, but. I don't think any of our fans have come to these games at home, and our guys have played. They play 60 minutes, and our guys are going to do that. And then for this senior bunch is really important. It's a little bit early, unusual early senior day for us, but still very, very significant. So home field advantage is big. What makes it that way is great fans we have, our great student section, and, they need to bring it because we're going to need all the help we can get. We got the 16th ranked team in the country coming in here, and nothing matters except our guys in this senior bunch and figuring out a way when that gun goes off to be 1 point ahead.
Anyone else? Tim?
But I wish we could play every game at home. Love playing here.
Coach, just some thoughts on Utah. What strikes you most about their team? Always seems to be a tough physical team, and the games between the two schools have been
tremendous respect for Kyle and what kind of job he does. Our players, there's a lot of mutual relationships. Our guys know a lot of their guys, and we've got a lot of respect. Very, very disciplined. When you play them, you better bring it. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a blocking and tackling game, and you better win that. And it's a physical war, and our guys know that. And they're going to run the football, and you gotta run the football on them, and that's a challenge to do. So I got a lot of respect for them. Regard them a lot like I do Coach McIntyre at Colorado. I just think that they are programs that are very like-minded to what we're trying to accomplish here with character, smart, disciplined, tough. And again, I got a lot of respect for them too. What they've done on the field, they're one of the right now one of the top 2 teams, 2 or 3 teams in the Pac-12. And so we'll have our hands full and got a lot of respect for them. And obviously, their offensive, defensive lines, the anchor of their team, tremendous special teams. Coach Whittingham does a great job with their special teams. Their punter is the best in the nation right now. And this is the biggest challenge we've had from a special team standpoint. Great kickoff return. They can be very explosive there. Very, very explosive with their punt unit and flipping the field. So when I think of Utah, I think of special teams and defense. And then where they've really improved is their ability to dominate a game in the run game on offense. And they still have the great skilled kids outside. They can throw the ball deep, and they do a good job throwing the ball deep. But the big thing, this is going to be a physical war. This is we have to win special teams, and this will be the biggest challenge we've had, and be the biggest challenge we've had running the football as well as stopping the run.
Anyone else?
Oh man, what a kill the deal there, man. Jeez. I'm ready for my red beans and rice. It's red beans and rice day. I'm pretty fired up.
Coach, we all know how emotional it can be for these seniors coming out that tunnel for the final game. What's it like for you?
Well, it's a one game where, they introduce them and I hug them. And I really try to focus on not being real emotional because it's just so important. And our guys have done a good job of that. It's a special day, and we do a special deal introducing them and recognizing them. But it more hits me afterwards, and it'll hit me more after we're done with the season. And so just a special group of guys that you think of what they've been a part of building and what they've done for this program is, you know, I'm extremely grateful.
Thanks, Coach.
All right. Coach Cassidy.